Today we are talking about a subject that really helps with most people think of it in terms of the motivation of your business. We're going to be talking about your brand values or your values in business. It's an important topic, it's an important subject because your values become kind of your North Star. They guide and direct a lot of your decisions. They become your why. Brené Brown recently talked about how her greatest value is courage, which is why she talks so much about vulnerability. Because in order to have courage, to demonstrate courage, you have to be vulnerable. You have to open up yourself to criticism. You have to be polarizing. And she's learned that the hard way over the last few years. For you, you're likely going to have specific things that are values to you. Those might be slightly different than your brand values, but they're likely going to be related. There's a big reason why I, a marketing person, am going to talk to you about your values in your business, which is because they affect not only just your internal motivation, the reason you get up and do what you do again, but they affect your marketing. They affect your offers. They affect your sales. They go deep into the core and the root of your business, and they affect every single part of that business. Now, you may cognitively understand that, but when is the last time that you sat down and you looked at what you value, and then you sat down and thought, during my sales process, am I bringing these values to the core, to the front? Are these values evident to my clients during my sales process? Or am I using a sales process where I say, my value is kindness? I think I have a friend of mine. Her business motto is be kind on purpose, right? We see be kind all the time, but she's like on purpose. Be kind even when you don't want to be. Be kind even when it sucks. Be kind even when you're angry. Be kind even when you didn't sleep well. Be kind on purpose and with purpose, right? Be kind by doing. So now imagine if that's her core business value and she uses a high pressure, fear of loss sales technique. If you don't do this, imagine your life 5 years from now. Nothing will be different. You have to sign up for my program. If you don't, you blah, 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 and you paint the fear picture. I'm not saying we don't, because for some people, that's going to work fine. Hear me say, for some people, painting the 5-year picture and using some fear-based, fear of loss, pressure-based sales techniques will work just fine in their business. But for my friend, who's all about be kind on purpose, it would be off-brand. Are, are you picking up what I'm laying down here? Is this making sense? Awesome. Now, let's think about the be kind into your marketing. One of the things not kind is comparison, right? One of the things not kind can be comparison, can be mine's better than yours. Now, it might be. And there's a big difference between comparison, mine's better than yours, mine's better than my competitors, and telling the truth. Sometimes telling hard truths in your marketing, in your sales, is the kindest thing that you can do for a person. So I'm not saying that kindness and being kind on purpose means everything's happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy all the time. That's toxic positivity. Sometimes being kind is telling the truth, and sometimes telling the truth can create a feeling for that individual in a way, right? Is it kind to tell people they have spinach in their teeth? I think so. Do they experience a moment of embarrassment when that happens? Yeah. And most of them follow up that momentary embarrassment with, thank you. I'm going to go get this out of my teeth now. So let's go back to marketing and let's go back to the difference between telling the truth that your individual clients need to hear if your brand values kindness and comparison, putting down other brands, putting down other things. That's not kindness. So that can't go into your marketing. Let's go to the visuals of kindness. Now, the individual that I'm thinking of that has the brand value of kindness, she also is the brand archetype in my identity aligned branding system that I have. I've done her branding with her, and she's the innocent. Makes sense. The innocent kindness. That's demonstrated not with harsh blacks, harsh, dark colors, or, right, like very high contrast. It's pinks and blues and light colors and kindness, warmth in there. Think about how, if your brand value is kindness, it would affect the pictures that you use. It would even affect the fonts that you use. Are you using a sharp, what I call pokey font? Or are you using something, right? One of the fonts that my friend uses is a cursive that reminds you a lot of your grandma's handwritten recipes. There's a kindness there. There's a warmth there. Kindness has completely influenced her brand. What influences your brand? And is that quality or those couple of brand values that you have showing up in your world? Well, how do we establish the brand values? A lot of times people do a worksheet and it will I remember at one point when I did branding a long time ago, my brand values ended up being like understanding and permission. And although those are true, I want people to understand their unique design. I want people to have permission to be who they uniquely are. I just used this word unique twice as I was telling you. Understanding that we are unique, identifying as individuals and that unique spirit in each one of us. Even when it comes to an endotype, no two, like, I'm an interpreter endotype. That's my personality quiz. If you're brand new to my work, you can take my quiz and find out your endotype. That helps me to be able to understand who I am. But I still had life experiences that have created a uniqueness that no other interpreter has. So when I am working with a coach Although I use a lot of formulas, right? I have my quiz, which is the Endotype formula. I have the identity aligned branding system. Ultimately, my goal is to create something that's completely unique for that individual, both in terms of how they describe the problem they solve, how they identify the work that they do to find their unique body of work is a huge value for me. So when people go, "Hey, what's your sales process?" I go, "Oh, am I supposed to have one of those?" Right? I've thought this in the past because I have different methodologies that I use that I've learned and gathered over the years. But you know what? Each one of my sales processes is unique. What's it like to work with you? Well, it's unique. It's different because I'm working with a unique individual, because that's a big value inside of my work. Does this help you understand how to bring branding or how to bring values into your business in more than just determining your why, in determining your sales techniques, the programs and packages you put together, how you develop your website, how you develop your marketing, how you talk to that individual, your brand story, your brand colors, your fonts, the pictures you use. It might even be what platforms you choose to host your website or your memberships on are all influenced by your values. You see how important those are? So I invite you to spend a little time getting deep into your values. If you are able to do this alone, that's awesome. I love that. Please go establish your brand values. But if you think that you might need a little help, or if you want to kind of have some hands-on techniques to be able to see if your real values are showing up specifically in your marketing, well, I'm really good at that. And so I'm going to invite you into a marketing lab with me. November 13th, we are going to have a marketing lab. What we are going to do in that lab is work specifically on these values in your marketing. Are they showing up or are they not? It is a roll up your sleeves. It's not a sit down and learn a whole bunch of stuff. It is, let's look at your marketing. Let's look at how that could be infused more. And first, let's establish what your values are and why. And are they really? It's going to be a 90-minute lab. You can sign up for it. We're going to drop the link into the show notes here. And we are going to be running these monthly marketing labs, or these marketing labs once a month. So at the beginning of the month, you're going to get a solo episode from me on a specific subject. And then inside the lab, we're going to go deeper into that subject and roll up our sleeves and work together. It's going to be very interactive, breakout rooms, journaling, looking at your marketing, receiving feedback in real time, doing the changes in real time for each of these different aspects of your marketing. So this month we are focusing on values in your marketing. Are they there or are they missing? I hope that you can join me. Again, the link is in the show notes. If your values are missing in your marketing, you're not attracting the clients that you want to work with. If your values are missing in your marketing, you cannot, you will not attract the clients that you want to work with. You can't because you're not putting out the energy of your values. And so the people who are looking for that help, that type of support, that unique individual that you are, don't even know that you can help them. Please join me for the next marketing lab where we're going to go into your marketing and make sure that you're showing up fully so that you can attract the clients that you want to.